bar, fellow Pinkos and comrades. Welcome to Malt Liquor Socialists. I'm your host, Mr. Kiefer, and today I'm joined by the Ebert to my Siskel, Mr. Morgan.
Well, good morning. Happy to be here.
Yeah.
We got something special going on, I see.
Well, indeed. This week's episode, we're going to be interviewing Vicki Palmerton. Am I saying the name correctly?
Correct.
Excellent. Absolutely. I love it. So Vicki was an active participant in the recall petition and also happens to be an administrator for the Rogue Indivisible discussion group. So, yeah, Vicki, before we get into this, would you like to introduce yourself?
Well, yeah, I'm just apparently, thanks to the recall and Rogue Indivisible, I've become a known name. People, I introduce myself and they go, "Oh, I know who you are." And I'm like, "What?" I don't know. I'm not ever sure if it's good or bad, but so I was involved with a recall, and I've been involved with Rogue Indivisible since 2017 when it first began, mostly as a member back then. So, and I wasn't really very involved in local politics as much as national politics until I started attending these meetings and went, "What the fresh hell is this?" I mean, I felt angry for a year, I guess.
We could definitely tell by watching the videos of the business meetings.
Yeah, that's fair.
That was toned down for me, and I every time went, "God, you got to keep your shit together," and I would have to leave before Barnett would start speaking because then my head would explode. So
it was whenever you did come on when we did this, we would see you come on, and Mr. Kiefer would be like, "Okay, we have Vicki Palmerton coming up. She's going to speak," and we would always like settle down because we wanted to hear what you had to say, because it was going to be very direct and to the point, and we just love that about you.
My kids always said, "Yeah, you're truthful to a fault, Mom. You don't have a filter." And I'm like, and I had one friend, Rick Floor, who said, "I don't think you can speak for 3 minutes without cussing. So I don't see how you're going to ever do it." And I proved him wrong. However, it was very difficult at first. I sounded like I was stuttering because I'd go, "I've had enough of your stuff."
Yeah. I think we did notice that a few times, like, "Oh, she was going to say something right there."
Yeah.
Yes, it's hard to monitor yourself.
Yeah.
You are, and then I watch, and then there's Matt, and he always comes across as so polite and cool and collected, and I'm like, how do they do that?
I mean, I'm still just surprised, not because Matt came off as sounding cool and collected. That's definitely something where some people can pull that off. It just surprises me, though, or I should say disgusts me, that he would come up there and be so cool and collected and polite. And then you'd have these reactions to him where it's like, you're being a rude little shit in response to Matt. Like he made a valid point, and he was polite and calm and all the things you want people to be. And you're just being a dismissive little jackass. It was so bizarre to watch.
And the attacks on him, I did not get death threats or any. I was threatened by Barnett, but never anything that was worrisome. I'm too stupid to be afraid. I just get pissed off and go, "Bring it on, just go ahead." And my body's going, "You stupid, you can't fight with them anymore." But my brain's going, "Just let me have him."
Yeah. Yep.
And then there's Matt, and I'm like, "Oh, how do I just?" So, yeah.
All right. Well, before we get into the questions, I just want to let our listeners know our basic kind of disclaimer here, where most of these questions are scripted ahead of time. We're expecting there will be some organic questions, but I do let the person we're interviewing see the questions beforehand to check to make sure it's like there's nothing in here that they can't answer or that there are things that they're comfortable answering. Just because we don't want this to be a gotcha kind of a thing. We want this to be a cordial interview. The only time I will ever want this to be kind of a gotcha thing is if for any reason we decide to and manage to get somebody like Commander Chris on here.
Yeah, I don't think.
Yeah, no, if that were to happen, I would this would be a landmine field for
yeah.
him. But again, I have no intention of ever doing that, and I don't think we get that anyways.
Nah.
But so I would like to start by asking you about Rogue Indivisible and your role in Rogue Indivisible. Your Rogue and Rogue Indivisible. Geez. So you kind of answered a little bit the when and why you started. Did you start with Rogue Indivisible, or it's like how it was started?
They had a big meeting, and the couple gals put this together with a group of like-minded people, and the first meeting was at the Boys and Girls Club, which of course drew a great uproar, and it was basically after Trump won the 2016 election, and how were we going to protect health care, how were we going to protect different areas and fight against what we thought was bad back then now is looks like nothing.
Yeah.
So I just became real involved. I wasn't involved with administration or anything back then. And then Rogue Indivisible, we had COVID, and it kind of started, the leadership of Rogue Indivisible at the time kind of was faltering, and there was a group of us that wanted to take it over, but in doing that, there's a whole lot of steps you have to go through as a nonprofit organization, etc. And I still don't know all of those roles because I really don't want to. And so what really ended up happening is there was a few of us just running the Facebook page for a while because COVID hit. We had one gathering in the park where we masked up and had all these female politicians, like for mayor and city council, etc., at the time, and we were able to sit outside and speak. But that was the last gathering we could have. And then the gals that were helping run social media, which is mainly what I did, one of them moved away and one of them stepped out, and suddenly I was just here by myself, having no clue what to do to get the group going again, active again once COVID got over. And I really struggled with that because I had a lot going on personally. I lost my oldest son in 2021, and then 6 months later I lost my sister, and in the midst of that my mom was going through dementia, so it was basically like my family was flying apart. But one thing that kept me going is that during COVID my son worked from home, and I was I would do a lot of text banking for other states, etc. And he would come out and say, Mom, I'm just so proud of you. I'm so proud of you that you just keep trying through all of this. And so I really didn't want to give up Indivisible. Not that it was mine, but I wasn't sure how to get it going again. And so I I talked to ORD2, which is the one in Jacksonville, and they managed to get through COVID, and they're well established, well run, and would go back and forth on what should we do? Should I give this up and just, send people that way? And finally, I got a couple of wonderful people to help me with the Facebook page because it was becoming more active again after, with Trump running again. And and we would gather Rick Flora and Kurt Collins, and talk about how we could get this going. And so last year we held a open meeting at Tom Pierce Park, and after a couple meetings, we voted for a board, and that's how we got Matt uh, and Melissa and Rhett Rob, and we did have a secretary, and she had some family emergencies happen, and now we have somebody filling in there. But that's kind of where, um, and it's exploded, especially under Matt's leadership because he can articulate himself so well. And so mostly I still run one of the social media pages, and I, I just said, hey, I don't want to run, but it still kind of was my baby for a while since I tried so hard to get it put together. I was like, don't just kick me to the curb. And they're like,
Yeah.
oh no, we would never do that. And so I keep my finger in there, um, and help put together a lot of these rallies, etc. Um, but I'm really glad to turn it over to a great group of people and start to step back where I can.
Mm.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, that also kind of explains a bit what you do in Rogue Invisible. So, I guess the next thing here, let's see. For Rogue Invisible as a group, what are some of its goals as a group?
For us, our goals are to, really pay attention to national news and what Trump's doing and to combat the lawlessness of that as much as we can. Um, and so that's why we're very active. But also, we want to be active in the community, um, by supporting. We're not aligned with any groups, but like every rally we have or every gathering, we collect food for the food bank, and that's gotten to where sometimes we get over 300 pounds of food. Donations we get, we have given that to the food bank, and just being um, actively locally involved with the community and being a positive thing, even though it's being uh, considered a terrorist group. I mean, it's like, and if you've ever been at any of the rallies and seen somebody like Mike Pelfrey or Olivia,
Yeah.
uh,
Edgar and the Little Oompa Loompa.
Yeah.
and you go, really, we're the terrorists? I mean, come on,
Yeah.
you know, and I always contact our chief of police and let him know what's going on. We've never have had any incidents where, our biggest issue is keeping people out of the street.
Right.
Go back up, not be, don't go past the parking lines.
Yeah.
And it's about there's they call us rioters, and I'm like, there's no riots happening here. These are gatherings.
Yeah, no, it gets a little crazy. I mean, I think we covered this on a prior episode, but oh gosh, it was one of the prior protests, and Rob Lamb had sent out this thing saying how, okay, yeah, no, we're getting ready for, like a riot and all this stuff. And don't worry, we have a contingency escape plan in case stuff goes sideways. And it's like, when the fuck do you ever have to worry about that shit?
No.
Yeah, no, I didn't read. Sometimes I just consider a source and glance over crap because I'm trying to take care of my mental health, and because, well, if like you said, I'm very passionate, and so I get really pissed off when they spread shit like that. I'm like, they counter protest us, and I'm like, why don't you have your own? If you have something you believe in, then do something about it.
Yeah. Have your own thing.
Rally. Yeah,
Yeah.
not drive around in your big fucking pickups. Oh, that's what they do,
Yeah.
And what is it you're accomplishing as opposed to what we're doing? We're not bothering anybody.
Hmm.
Uh, and and I really felt like when Dwayne Yunker came out and after, they started declaring Indivisible National to be a terrorist group, then the reps, our state reps started repeating that shit, and
Hmm.
boy, Chris Barnett and Bleck grabbed onto that crap.
Oh yeah.
And it was in every paper they wrote. It was in all the freaking propaganda they were handing out at the recalls, oh, indivisible. And I'm like, I, well, I don't even, there's nothing to back it up with.
No, it's just crazy propagandist bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's rage baiting, and that's
Mm.
what they try to do. And so, I don't even know what to say to those people. Willful ignorance is, and especially in this county is, ugh,
Oh yeah.
crazy.
It is epidemic in this county. Although I do have to admit, I think when they when Rob Lamb did release that statement, because he had said in the statement, if I'm recalling correctly, it's like, and we don't want people showing up to counter protest. I honestly don't think that it was that he was concerned. I think that it is he was recognizing, every time we show up to counter protest, we have this big crowd that we're counter protesting against, and maybe at most 15 of us show up, and it looks really goddamn weak.
It
Yeah.
does. I think, is it Rob or Ron?
I think it's Rob Lamb, I
Yeah.
believe.
Okay. Yeah, but they still throw it out there trying to get those few stragglers. If they said nothing, nobody would come.
Right.
So they put something out going, "Oh, we don't want you to show up, but if you do, um, try to, they try to antagonize us enough to get somebody to do something stupid. It's what
Yeah.
it's what you see nationwide
Yeah.
is, here we're gonna disrupt this and hope you do something so that we have an excuse to bring
Right. When
Sappho
we've
out.
when we've seen, the counter protests, or when we see Barnett talk or something, I've said it multiple times, like, this is just so transparent what he's trying to do. It's this toxic positivity that we bring up where it's like, oh, no, we don't want you to come down. We just want to, bring everybody together. And it's like, who you have on your side. You have fucking Pelfrey, who's going to go down there with fucking Burger King crowns for no kings and try to get people riled up. Like, this. So shut the fuck up. Like, that's always been my position. Like, just stop it.
But we want unity in the community.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly.
Oh, Lord. The unity and community, so long as you unify with us.
Uh-huh.
It's
No, and so he's attacking the library again, going, they let some of these groups in their rooms that are available, because I think last time Pelfrey showed up to make signs for one of the protests, and I wasn't there. He had to be removed, of course. And so I just thought all he ever is doing. He's so desperate for attention now that he can't be in front of a camera
Yes.
every day, that if he has to make up lies to get people to pay attention to him, well, he was always a liar, but he's still throwing out that crap, trying to get people stirred up again about the library, for God's sake.
it's a closed issue. It's he feeds off of drama. Okay. Well, let's see. Last thing pertaining to Rogue Indivisible I have on here. Are there any, like soon to be future events? I know that of the time that we're recording this, it's the same day that we're having the protest that the name I forget. I've seen Matt advertise it.
I believe it's Humanity Over Hate.
Yes. Which by the way, on a couple of Barnett's news outlets
Oh,
on
no.
Facebook are talking about how this humanity over hate rally is just about division and dividing us further, which
course.
is totally on message, I guess, for what the rally. What the hell? I swear, you could have a rally where it's just, look, guys, we need to get rid of the Klan. The Klan is bad. And they would post an article about, look at them. They're trying to support the Klan.
Or
It's-
trying to take away free speech.
oh my God, it's bizarre. But yeah, no, that's after that, do we have any planned rallies that are coming up?
Yes, and I can't speak for what Matt plans in the future because sometimes I get the information after it's all done. But March 28th is a No Kings rally. It's nationwide and it'll be hosted by many, many groups, including Rogue Indivisible, which is where I get most of my information from Indivisible. But hopefully it'll be bigger than the last one where we bust in all those people from so, and it's very funny because you know when the one of our first big ones, and when Barnett said, "Oh, he saw buses
Oh.
and they're and paid," and
Yeah.
they were nationwide, and the chief of police, I don't want to get him in trouble, but he goes, "I am curious." Since every other city was having their own, where did they bust these people in from?
Yeah, weird.
I said, Canada.
Oh, Lord. I mean,
That has been my rallying cry. Where are the buses, Chris, for months now?
technically, I am quarter Canadian. Don't let anybody know.
Oh, shit.
I know, right? I'm an infiltrator, apparently.
All right.
I
Well,
was- yeah, that has been weird, and that was so strange. Chris was claiming they're bust in. He is taking video of this. He has a goddamn drone, and you'd think he'd be able to go, yeah, they're being bust in. Here's the video of it.
yeah.
No, nothing.
Nah.
Yeah. No, yeah. And he's very careful about, well, someone told me or I heard.
Right.
Because he's too much of a chicken shit to just say that he's the one posting this misinformation, or just like his news sites, which I only see if they get redone because I've of course been blocked from everything. The day before he resigned, I got a cease and desist email from
Awesome.
For what?
I don't know. I think I only spoke up once. One probably because I have a hard time sitting in the meetings and being quiet, which you're supposed to do. I'm always, under my breath, but not really under my breath. And it just pisses him off.
But I mean, is that a cease and desist worthy?
I am not a legal scholar, so I don't know. But at the same time, I would also have to be like, well, this is a public forum. Like, what the fuck are you going to do? You can just kick her out. You could have been removed. That I don't think that's a cease and desist.
No, but he wanted all of anything I'd posted on social media, etc. Anything I've done, said, or about him to be removed. And
Oh, yeah.
my response was, that's where I did have some self-control. I read it and first I laughed, and then I went, oh, fuck off.
Yeah.
I thought, okay, I can send that. And then I thought, no, I could just send a whole page of laughing emojis.
There you go.
And then I said, no, give yourself a day. And, and then he resigned the next morning.
Weird.
Like, yeah. And I thought, so you are irrelevant to me at this point. And
Yep.
I'm very careful about what I post. If I post it, it's a fact.
Yeah.
Because, if it's my opinion, then you're going to know. But I'm real careful about calling somebody like that who's litigious, always wanting to sue somebody. And he's always screaming defamation at everybody.
Yeah.
That very last meeting, I would have loved to count how many times even Jennifer Roberts, the volunteer at the library, that asked a simple question. He just was going off on every person that spoke that night.
Oh yeah.
He was pissy. Oy vey, he was pissy on that
Well,
one.
and he was also threatening legal action against everyone in there that was speaking out against him too. You know, because he sat there and be like, "Keep talking, I'll talk, go to the lawyers and whatnot." And it's like, dude, I could see right through that too. This is just a ploy. You just want people to shut up, so you're threatening legal action against him, and then, surprise, surprise, he resigns the next day.
Because they took away his camera rights. For the rest of the 3 days he had left, they had closed down the county and sent people
Right.
home.
Wasn't that because he had basically threatened to shoot somebody if they came through the door?
To kill. If you come through the door, I'll shoot to kill you. And so they said, no more public meetings for now. And once you take away his camera and his microphone, he's lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so what was there left for him to do but slither out the door like the snake he is?
Yeah, I mean, everything I've seen, because I am blocked from his social media shit too. Both his personal one, which is weird because that was the same thing he used to post all of his county business shit. And it's like, you can't have it both ways. Either it's your personal Facebook account where you can block people, or it's not, and you shouldn't be blocking people. But that and his news sites, I have an alternative account where I don't comment. I just use it to go find stuff. And apparently he seems much happier now that he's not doing county
good.
business.
Good for him.
He's trying to be a social media influencer with
He was already that.
well, I mean, he's trying to be that, but most of the stuff, I haven't caught anything as of yesterday, but most of it's just been him and a buddy of his who I think was on KLDR with him, who were just going around and, we have this new coffee shop, or we have this new restaurant, or we're doing reviews. And it's like, great. I'm glad he could find his happy place. Why couldn't he have found this like a year and a half ago?
Yeah. Oh no, because his wife said, if you don't run, we can't change this, then we need to move. God, and I'm like, you should have listened to your wife, dumbass.
Yeah.
And got the fuck out of town.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't read his shit because I just get too pissed off. I just hate liars.
It's poorly worded and written trash, but I mean, I don't know how much of a force he's going to be with the local Republicans. And when I say Republicans, I'm not talking about like the general overall. I'm meaning like the MAGA twits in the area, because now there is kind of a divide between the two where there is some overlapping, but you get the hardcore MAGA and then the reasonable Republicans are going, I'm not, no, that's a little much. Let's tone it down a little bit. And then the No True Scotsman effect kicks in and it's like, wait, you're not backing this? We have to destroy you. It's weird.
We need to recall Ron Smith now. I'm like, wait, you guys were screaming for 3 months that these recalls are bullshit. You want a recall on Ron Smith, just it's and the weirdest thing is that when the local party split over is it Rice, when they ousted him as chair, those people like Pelfrey signed the damn petition to remove Chris Barnett. I did not see that he signed it, but was told, so there was a whole bunch of those kind of, I think, I can't even tell, because that split, you have MAGA in both groups, and the local Republican Party is not reasonable.
Right.
Yeah.
And because when I worked with the recall, like they make fun of me, but oh, she's the liberal, but a year ago, you couldn't have convinced me that I'd be working with such a diverse group of people who are conservative, who are independents, but they're reasonable Republicans.
Right.
You know, um, and these people are not, and they're not on board with it. And I'm like, then you need to take over your party again. Somebody
Right.
needs to do something, because really, I don't know why Holly Morton ever resigned, because she's running shit the way it was run before. And to listen to them, they just get up, at these meetings, and they would just lie. And I'm like, these are things that can be proven, and they don't, there's no kickback on, hey, that's misinformation.
Yeah, it's some weird stuff. Well, Mr. Morgan, do you have any other questions about the petition?
I mean, no, not really. I guess what I'm interested in is, like, during the recall, like, how would you describe Barnett from, like, January of 2024 to December of 2025?
And real quick, I do
yeah.
want to clarify. I misspoke. Not do you have any questions about the petition, about
Yeah.
Rogue Indivisible? Because next we're going to get into the
Oh,
petition. So
okay.
that was me being an idiot. Sorry.
That's okay. Well, about the petition and Rogue Indivisible, I mean, I think you guys are doing a great job. Edit all this out.
No.
And it's like Matt said, there was never any meeting. We weren't involved as Rogue
Right.
Indivisible. And we often have different groups participate at a rally or a gathering where they have tables, give out their information. So we were very careful to keep that separate. But, there were people that are Republicans that are
Right.
part of a ton of groups in town. I mean, so we were just
Right.
the target, and it had nothing to do with it, because we're involved in other groups together. We do things with the Democrats, and volunteer at lots of other things.
Right.
So
Yeah, I think
yeah.
I think they found out what Rogue Indivisible was. Noticed that there was a lot of people, a part of what was going on that were a part of that, and they just jumped on it. And like we say, like, they don't read any further than the first sentence. So that's the group that they're going to jump on.
No. And it scares them, to see that when suddenly Grants Pass has 3,000 people show up, they're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
They think there's more of them, but there aren't. They just have
Right, yeah.
bigger mouths. They are louder, and they're not doing anything really good
Nope.
for this
Well, it's not the
community.
silent majority. It's the outspoken minority.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. That's completely true. Yeah.
So,
And so
all right.
they're afraid we're going to turn
Oh,
into
God.
Portland, and we might have some diversity here.
Oh,
so
yeah.
heaven
No,
forbid.
I've been saying for a while. It's like, yeah, when I've heard them bring that up, it's like, really? Like, Josephine County? Like, I see the divide in their party, but at the same time, I'm the pessimistic one over here. Because when it comes to the elections, it's like, well, yeah, you have those reasonable Republicans, but if it's between a Republican and a Democrat, then I feel like those reasonable Republicans are going to be like, well, we're going to vote for him anyway, and maybe we can just get him to do some things that we want. And it's like, no, that's not how it works. That's never been how it works, at least in the last decade.
Yeah.
like, so yeah, when they say like, oh, we're going to become Portland, I just laugh and I'm like, no, because the other people that vote for you anyway are just going to fall in line. So you have nothing to fear, really.
Well, it's a fear tactic.
Yeah.
That's how they get their voters to come out and turn out. It's not that they're voting or they're not running on an issue they're going to solve. They're running on this fear of,
Right.
hey, if you don't vote, we're going to turn to Portland. It'll never happen. But that's what we're saying is going to happen.
Yeah.
Well, and that's unfortunately, Republicans have their messaging down. They know people react on emotion and instead of their brains. And so they put out shit that's going to go, hey, they're going to take over this, or they're going to take your guns. They're going to take, and none of it's materialized.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
I mean,
it's just a fear tactic to get people going,
Yep.
oh my God, they'll
Yep.
do this to us.
I still think it was funny, the whole thing with, oh God, Barnett and the recall. And when it finally got to the point where it's like, okay, the votes are in. He's going to have his ass out, whether or not he resigns. Like that's inevitable now. And he was trying to get Ron to participate to select a replacement for it. And the whole time, they finally got to this point of, okay, look, if we don't select it, then it goes to the Board of Elected Officials. And if they don't select it, it goes to Governor Kotek. And we don't want that to happen. It's like, what the fuck makes you think it's going to go to Kotek?
Yeah.
That's the big. They have to have a boogeyman every time. Something, every time. There's somebody or something that we're going to end up with that is, going to come in the middle of the night and I don't know, suck your brains out. Which would not going to happen around here because some of them don't even.
You beat me to it. Okay, well, let's see. For the petition stuff, Vicky, what would you normally do for the petition effort when we were in the petition phase?
I was, I got roped into being office manager for the location, the solid location. And so I worked down there most days. And, people would come in to sign, but we got a lot more at the tabling places that we had set up all over. But people had to bring their filled in petitions at the end of shifts, etc. So I kind of just kept the office organized. I did volunteer to table a couple times, but really I was in the office most days. So.
Are you generally pleased with how the recall petition turned out?
I'm generally thrilled how I'm thrilled. I really would like to see our charters changed, because the fact that these fuckheads can run again,
Right.
That's
I
insanity.
totally agree.
But
Yeah. That's something that I would love to see get changed. I don't think it will. But something that I could see and I would like to see changed is in the instances where we have a commissioner recalled, honestly, I don't think that the remaining commissioners should be the ones to choose a replacement. I think it should just go to the Board of Elected Officials.
I agree with you, because look at what happened this time. There was Barnett already. They had somebody chosen, because you don't give people 2 days to turn in applications and interview and then hire somebody the next day. Not if you're serious about it. And so, and after what the circus that was Barnett and Black, when they had their first meeting, the Board of Elected Officials had their first meeting. It was so refreshing to watch and see a meeting that was handled professionally.
Night and day.
And
Yeah.
yes, it was, and it didn't. Nobody was bloviating about themselves for an hour talking and talking. Um, they just got down to business and did what they were
It's like we
supposed to
went
do.
from Lord of the Flies to just a functioning government production.
Yep.
Yeah, and I believe that they'll take it seriously because many of them were affected by these two
Assholes.
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
corrupt assholes that their departments were affected and they saw what was going on. Um, so I think that they're going to make a
Yeah.
wise choice. That
Yeah,
that's my
no,
hope.
I agree, and I'm very interested to see who it is they end up picking in the long run. Let's see. Next on here, this one has a little bit to do with the recall petition, particularly some of the counter to the recall petition. Did you happen to read the white paper that was pushed by Chris and during the recall? And if you did, what was your opinion of it?
For God's sakes. It was full of lies. At first I didn't see it. Um, and I finally asked somebody, I said, I keep reading about these white papers. And I read it and went, I mean, it was Indivisible was the boogeyman, uh, and responsible for all of this. And, the liberals are trying to take over. I mean, it was just full of lies. And I never did get around to, I spent a lot of time learning how to report things to the state. And one good thing was I did get, um, they said they opened an investigation on Barnett for finance, campaign finance.
Whoa. Okay.
Like, baby, I did something right. Um, I don't know
Hmm.
what will happen. Some people said, hey, once he resigns, they'll probably drop all
Aw.
that. But come on, they're breaking the law. Why would you just
Yeah.
drop?
Yeah, it's like, oh, I resigned, so I'm no longer in this position. Great, that was still a crime. You're going
Yeah.
to be investigated on this shit. That would be nice.
Yeah.
So
Huh.
hopefully we'll see what happens. But and putting stuff out there like Bleck and Barnett did with the white paper, that was illegal. You you can't put out false statements that have to do with campaigning, which the recall was a campaigning, just like Barnett
Hmm.
doing interviews from inside his government office. I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I mean, are you stupid or what? Just
Well.
I know. That's what
Yeah.
I mean, the thing I think that got me most about those the white papers, there were a lot of their supporters who were saying, "Look, they're official county documents, so they're factual." It's like, okay, first off, they're only county documents in the sense that they were produced by the two jackasses being recalled. The county did not have professionals go through and vet these claims and then make this shit up. This is literally these two guys going, yeah, no, we sound like we can call this bullshit. And the other thing that I recall was it was full of grammatical errors. Like, I don't know if it was AI generated, but I do recall somebody went through this with, like the equivalent of
the
a red
red pen.
pen. Yeah, just like made all the corrections. It's like, you two are two of the highest sitting public officials in our fucking county, and you write like you haven't graduated from 6th grade. What the shit?
Yeah. Oh no, the because I was mostly involved with national politics before, when I started becoming aware of these people, even when Bear Trigger was in there, I watched my first county meeting and I got off of the meeting and went, are these people aren't educated?
Nope.
No.
And I looked all three of the commissioners up at that time, and none of them had anything more than a high school diploma. And I was, I thought, you're running this meeting. improperly. Just the ignorance was astounding. And that was before this fiasco.
Yeah.
You know, I think people need to start asking themselves, and they won't because they'd rather have somebody with an R in their name, even if they're corrupt in there, which makes no sense to me. Um, why are these people that have this kind of money, like Bleck and Barnett and Bear Chigger and West, why do they need to be in these positions? They are only using them for self-service, to change codes,
Yep.
to skate around all the limitations they have by law.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think what Barnett was trying to do is what West did, basically. You know,
Yeah.
West wanted someone in there that would do what West would have done if he was in that position, and he got Barnett. And then Barnett was under recall, and Barnett wanted to get somebody in there. You know, that's why we're like, oh yeah, it was only 2 days. You know, like they knew who they wanted. Barnett wanted to get someone in. Barnett wanted to be a John West character. He wanted to get someone in that would do something that Barnett would do, but now he's recalled. And that's why we saw the flailing, because I think he knew once the recall petition was confirmed, once it got the signatures, I think he knew right then and there, I'm fucked. I'm not going to be able to do this. And that's why we saw the flailing. That's why we saw the litigation going out to everybody, because he knew he was cooked.
But you know, whatever mental disorder he has, he's not capable of just bowing out silently.
Sure.
He's
right.
a narcissist.
Yeah.
Not true. And that, you know, it's just like people saying, well, Trump could change. No, he
No.
can't.
Nope.
And it's not even an option for him. It's not that he doesn't want to, it's that he cannot. And I believe
Yep.
Barnett is, you know, we had our own little White House going here with Barnett and then Bleck being Musk, you know, shutting everything down. And they even wrote that shit in the fucking white papers.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Following Doge,
Yeah.
and I'm like, but don't you understand that Musk is now out and everybody hates him? Do you see that this has not worked? No. Yeah, sorry.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those things that again we've mentioned on the show a couple of times, where you get people who are big sycophants for Trump. They love Trump, and Trump will do all this shit that Barnett did locally and did locally, and the same people here who you have Trump supporters who are really pissed off at Barnett, and they're really pissed off at Bleck for doing that stuff. And it's like, on the national level, it doesn't necessarily impact them right away, or so they can have that disconnect. But on the local level, you don't have that. That impacts you immediately, and it pisses people off. But the fact that they don't make that connection, they're acting like Trump, and you still support Trump.
Yeah.
It weirds me out to no
Yep.
end.
Oh, I could give you a name, and 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 the irony of it, of him going after Barnett and saying, yeah, he does all these things, and I'm like, you're right. There's a complete disconnect, and you know, I'm just, my
Yeah.
brain just goes, wow, what are you even? How can you? But they do. You
Yep.
know, they're and after all this time that they still do is even more amazing to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's what, you know, now that we've mentioned it, I think that's what makes me so pessimistic about their side, is because they are so disconnected from what they see in reality. They will go against a guy on a local level that is doing the step for step exact same thing. He says the exact same stuff, but then on a national level, it's like, oh no, that's my guy. And I sit here and I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Like, you know, that's why I think when somebody with an R next to their name shows up, they're just going to go with them anyway. And we're going to read on Facebook and we're going to see posts like, oh, well, hey guys, maybe we can get this guy to do what we want to do. And I'm sitting here screaming, going, no, it's never happened that way. It won't happen that way. But we go down the same road, it seems like every 8 years.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
it is frustrating. Lately, I've been thinking maybe there's a smarter place where I can go live somewhere. I know, but I'm just going. We're surrounded by stupid.
Yeah. Yes.
It's idiocracy.
It hurts. It hurts. Like,
Yeah.
and that's what they want. The thing is I don't know. It's like, do you want the Republicans? Do you really want these corrupt people in here?
Mm-hmm.
It affects you.
Right.
It affects us.
Yeah.
Well, we got a few more questions, but I've got one more about the recall petition, and this one is potentially purposefully to stir up some shit.
Uh-oh.
So I apologize if it does that.
Oh, I would never do that.
So the recall petition was infamously bipartisan, being supported by local Democrats, Republicans, and independents alike. So while it was bipartisan, I want to know from your perspective, how bipartisan were the efforts that you were seeing and experiencing when you were volunteering?
Oh boy, you could get me in trouble for this one.
As I said, this one's kind of trying to stir some shit. You can absolutely go, never mind, move on to another. I'm okay with that.
No, because I worked with a lot of Republicans, but often felt that they tried to stay behind the scenes. Not all of them, because I don't know everybody who was working at tables, etc. What party they were with. I didn't go up and say, so what are you? I mean,
Right.
and so sometimes I went, when there was a call for people to table, I'd be like, why is it always the same group of liberals doing this?
Mm-hmm.
But, once again, that's probably not true, because a lot of these Republicans are involved with outside groups and are well known in the community, and they were bringing in signatures like crazy. They just didn't always want to be seen out in public with some of us.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it kind of, again, we talk about it all the time, the no true Scotsman thing. I think those reasonable Republicans know, what group they're in. And if they stick their necks out, well, there's a chance that they can be shunned. That's my opinion, but I think that's why they kind of hide out a lot of times on a local and national level. They might not like what's going on, and so they'll be like, yeah, maybe he's a good guy, but they're still getting signatures out there. I don't know.
No.
Yeah. But once again, I did through this meet a lot of wonderful people, and I do have a little hope that because of what they've witnessed here in their own county, they're going to go, look what the shit they pushed through last year. Barnett, there was another Republican running against Colleen, I believe, and even the Democrats were backing her.
Yeah.
Because, but they wanted their people in, just like those city councilors that we now have that are. I'm like, I'm not even sure I'm ready to pick up that. Yeah, but it's, I don't even understand it. It's like, this hasn't been good for anybody. And what is it Do you want them to just take away everything good from us? That's the goal here. Um, yeah. And so they push through their people, and you're right. Those people couldn't have gotten voted in without other people checking the R box.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, got a couple questions left. So this one's just more general about the Josephine County business meetings. Because you seem to participate in those somewhat frequently.
Loved you there.
Yeah. Again, that was fantastic. So I know a lot of people.
I got dragged out the door by the.
I mean, at this point, that's kind of like a badge of honor.
I was just going to say,
context.
yeah, no, I would wear that badge proudly.
So, I know a lot of people cannot go to these meetings to participate and give their 2 cents to the commissioners. They couldn't when we had the shitheels in office, and when we get some reasonable people in, they probably still won't be able to. Although, hopefully, we'll be able to do the once a month evening meetings again. But just because those would be great. But for those people who can't go regularly, do you recommend people view the recordings of these meetings? And if you do, why?
I do, because it keeps you informed because if we don't stop this now, if we don't stop them continuing, I mean, they just blatantly break laws and the rules, and they just hope that it's going to go over people's heads. And by watching these meetings, even if it's afterwards, although it would be wonderful to get somebody who does recording where we don't have 20 minutes of empty space at the beginning, because so many people go, well, it's not working for me.
Yeah.
Because I think it's important for them to see that these guys weren't answering any questions.
No.
You could, everybody could ask a question, and at the end, nothing was answered. You were just attacked for your opinion.
Right.
Generally, unless you were there stroking them off. I always thought it was a good thing that Chris Barnett was behind that dais, because he'd get his people in there, and he probably sat back there with.
Oh dear.
Oh my God, yeah. So I think people need to be informed.
Yeah.
Because I used to just follow national news, and my thing, I had an agreement with somebody else I worked with and said, you follow local, tell me, I'll put it on social media. And then once I did, I was like, oh God, this is so much worse than I thought it was.
It's fair.
Yeah, when I was the same way. When we started this, like I was always in the national, and the local was just kind of like an afterthought, kind of a thing. And, it shouldn't have been, but it was. And ever since we started this, I've just been learning more and more, and we've been watching the videos. And I'm just sitting here going, my God, this is a train wreck. This is absolutely insane. And then it started getting like funny to me in a weird way, because it just kept happening. It's like that train wreck where it just, the cars are still smashing and you're just standing there going, wow, this is kind of amazing. But the problem is that this is local government and it affects everybody. And holy shit, did you see what they just did yesterday? Like, yeah, it's been wild. Yeah.
Yeah. No, they tried to, same thing that's happening nationally is we're going to slam you with something every single day until you don't have a clue what's going on, because you can't keep up. And
yeah, it's a game plan.
Yeah. It's not a flaw. That's a strategy.
Yep.
Well, and I'm fucking tired.
Me too.
And I'm tired of being angry and going, what the fuck? Where are these critical thinkers? What are we? You get on here and just post some bullshit and get everybody, and it's not even true bullshit. I mean, if you're gonna put something out there. Make it a little, at least verifiable.
Uh-huh.
All right. So the last question on here is, again, potentially to stir up a little bit of shit.
Oh God.
I know I'm horrible.
Okay.
I need no help in this. I'm constantly in
No,
trouble.
that's totally okay.
We love you for it.
From
Okay.
from your attendance at these meetings, I want to know, and we've got this answer a little bit, but for each separate one, I want to know, what is your general impression of the Three Stooges that we've had for the past year? Smith, Barnett, and bleh.
Well, you could watch any meeting and my impression was what I would say, but they made a choice, and right up front, I believe I said in a public meeting, I said, you guys have a choice. You can turn things around and stop doing what you're doing. It's early enough in the game, or you can keep this shit up and you're going to be recalled.
Yep.
I think it was real apparent then that Smith in the beginning, I'm sorry, but he did vote day one to terminate the lease to the library because he and Barnett were beholden to West for all the money he spent in their campaigns.
Yep.
And so, but it soon became apparent to Ron that his voice did not matter. He went in, and I can be guilty of this, is trusting people and thinking, hey, this is going to be, and they steamrolled him. But the good thing about Smith, and I think it takes a big person to go, turning over power to Bleck was the worst thing I ever did. Voting against the library was a stupid thing. That takes a lot of, I think it shows a lot of integrity to stand up in public and go, I really fucked up.
When do you think that change happened? When do you think he started to kind of come around to that?
I think a little bit before the recall.
Okay.
I think he was aware that he'd lost any control, by saying, hey, just keep me informed of what's going on, and finding out that, no, these two were off doing their own little thing. And we're not going to keep you informed. We're just going to tell you when we do things. It's just like Barnett not asking, when should we have them? When should we interview these people? None of that shit went through Ron Smith, according to is, you don't have that small of a group controlling the county and not communicate to each other.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I think my biggest concern, and I told Smith this, was people get up here, your constituents get up here and say they're not for something, and you agree with them, and then you vote with these two idiots anyway.
Yep.
And I said, you stand behind your freaking convictions.
Yeah.
If that's what you think, then don't go, well, okay. And I think with the recall and then turning Barnett loose to stampede all over everybody was probably, I don't know if I would even call it a wake up call. It probably had to be horrendous to be around Barnett during that time. I mean,
Yeah, I would imagine.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I think at the end, Ron Smith made some real wise choices by recusing himself, and then just standing up for himself for a damn change.
Yeah.
I'm not going to participate in this
Yeah.
pony. Yeah. So the other two, you could tell right off the bat that where they were headed, and that was their choice.
Yep.
They thought that's the only good thing, is that enough people are now starting to pay attention and go, hey, wait, we can't just let this local party, Republican Party, just cram people in there, and then after the fact go, oh
Yeah.
shit, what did we do?
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
I answered the question because, sorry.
No, that's fantastic answer to that
Great.
question.
Yeah.
Oh, Mr. Morgan, do you have any follow-up questions, sir?
Oh,
Yeah, when are you going to clean up your mom's house and make it look presentable?
hey. The audience doesn't need to know. No, you are good friends with my mother. We'll just put that out there. But no, I've said it, even throughout this episode. I was really happy to see you out there standing up against those guys. Yeah, every time you stood up, a hush fell over the crowd over here because we really wanted to hear what you had to say. And I could tell, without really knowing you back then, that you were kind of a firebrand, because there were a few times where you did stop yourself from saying shit or what the fuck. And I was like, ooh, I like this one. But no, I'm glad the way it shook out, and I'm glad that in a weird way I had you out on the front lines.
Good, thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate that. It's becoming harder for me to be on the front lines, but that's just who I am. I
Right.
can't, my daughter sometimes will go, "Why are you doing this?" And I'm like, because I have to. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't not do something.
Right.
If injustice for one is injustice for all of us. So
It's true.
that's my opinion. And I think, in meeting so many people at these meetings, is that so many people are intimidated at first, and I understand that, to stand up and say something. And then when they start watching it, they go, okay. And once you've done it, because I didn't go in at every meeting with something to say, but
Sure.
after listening to them, or to listening to the fucking idiots that would stand up there and anyway, tisk, she did not stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance. I'm like,
Oh God.
Oh my
fuck
God.
up. I have that right.
Mhm.
And so then by the end of the meeting, I couldn't just hold, I couldn't stop.
Yeah.
Okay, I have to say something now, because this is all just crap, and you
Yeah.
guys are going to let it slide right under the rug. And they did it to themselves.
Yep,
I mean,
they did.
they're trying to claim we used the libraries we had. I love libraries. I love our library. No, they were tricking people. No, people were pissed off. More people got up at meetings week after week after week to talk about the library as opposed to any other
Yeah.
issue.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it only took them 9 months to negotiate a lease that should have taken them like a couple of weeks. And how do I phrase this? No termination of the fucking lease. So,
I'm going to break my arm, patting myself on the back for putting out the fire I started.
yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
It was insane.
Yep.
All right. Well, Vicky, it was an absolute joy to have you on. Thank you very much for doing this today. For anybody who listens to the podcast, if you have any suggestions or ideas, please be sure to email them to maltliquorsocialists@gmail.com.
Yes.
Because apparently I've been saying just .com.
We're going to have to buy that website.
Yeah. And you can also check us out on Facebook. So,
Konbanwa.
Kandamwa.
Konbanwa. Means good evening.
Okay.
Good evening. All right. Ciao, you guys. I'm off to a rally.
All right. Take care out there.
Catch you later.